I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, back again with another preview video. This time we're checking out Pit Formula. This is a game that is running on Kickstarter right now, so make sure to check out the campaign, Kickstarter campaign, by clicking that link in the description of the video down below at the end of this video. Let's go ahead and go to the table to where I can explain how this game works. All right, so this is Pit Formula from Rhino Studios. This is a previous edition of the game that is in Portuguese. The edition that is running on Kickstarter is going to be in English, so some of the things might look differently. In this game, you are the pit crew for a race car driver, and your race car is represented over here on the racetrack, which is also the scoreboard. In this game, each round begins by flipping over an incident card that has some flavor text on it, but also tells you what the players are going to be repairing for this round. These come in 3 different varieties. You have the first being that all the players do the same thing, or the leader does something different from all the other players, or lastly, the last place player may do something different from all the other players. And the different things here that you see, this one here says 4 tires, 2 tires and a wing and a gas can, or 4 tires again. Or the card that we first flipped over says 4 tires and a gas can. Let's focus on this card for right now. So tire cards are the yellow cards, and they're generally the easiest cards to have to do. If we were doing this card, everyone would get 4 of these, which they would keep right here on the tire spaces on the board in front of them. And then we would get 1 gas card. Now, on the count of 3, everyone at the same time would flip over their cards, trying to solve the different math problems on them. Now, tire cards, again, like I said, are the easiest. 9 plus or minus 4. And so I could do that either way. I could do 9 plus 4 or 9 minus 4. And so if I went minus, 9 minus 4 would be 5. Now, after I have figured it out in my head, I then have to find the correct tile somewhere out here in the pile of all the tiles. Now, these tiles are separated into 2 different piles, and they are both in a 7 by 5 grid. And I can draw from either side. This isn't like this half of the table has this side and the other half has this side. No, I can draw from anywhere on the table. I just have to find a 5, and I have to find a yellow 5 because tire cards require yellow tire tiles. And so, for instance, here is a yellow 5 right here. I can take that and I can put that right here on my card. Now, the red gas cans work a little bit differently. They also have 2 numbers on them, and I need to find 2 numbers that are in between the 2 numbers on the card. And because I have to find 2 numbers, there's space here for 2 different tiles. And because it is red, I have to take from only the red tiles. So for instance, I could take this red 4 here because it's between 8 and 1. I could also take this red 7 right here and place them on my card. Now, after I have completed all the cards on my tile, I can stop and draw one of these trophy cards. And obviously you want to take the best one available, gold, then followed by silver, followed by bronze. Or you can choose to draw more cards if you would like, because at the end of a round, you're going to be awarded points depending on the cards that you completed. So I might grab one of these green wing cards, which go right here at the front of your vehicle. And what these are exactly like the yellow cards, except they're going to be bigger numbers and always require 2 different tiles. I might then also draw a blue engine card, which blue engine cards are going to be multiplication, 7 times 8. Well, that's 56, and that's the reason why there are, again, 2 spots there to put tiles. Just like with all the other cards, I could only put green tiles on green cards and blue tiles on blue cards. Now, again, I get bonus points for everything that I complete, 1 point for any tire cards, and 2 points for all the other cards. Now, if I make a mistake, which is bound to happen in this game, as this is a real-time game and you are going as fast as you can, you're probably going to make some mistakes. Whatever flag that you have drawn that round. So if I am the first player to finish, I would take the gold flag. If I made a mistake, I lose this flag and it goes to the player who got the silver flag. And their silver flag would then go to the player who took the bronze flag, and the bronze flag would go to the player who finished last that round. And so I would be without a flag if I made a mistake. Now, if the second place player also made a mistake, then the process repeats itself. If you make a mistake, you do not get a flag for that round. Not only do you get points for the cards that you solve that round, but the first place player, the player who has the gold flag at the end of scoring, will then choose one of these trophies. There's going to be 5 because there are 5 rounds in the game. And on the back are more points awarded for the different types of flags. As you can see there, 5, 4, and 3 in this case. But these are all different. They're not all the same. 4, 2, and 1. And so you're never quite sure how many points you're going to be getting that round. And you're never quite sure just whether or not your opponents, are going to be trying to complete bonus cards or if they're just going to go straight for the flag. Now, I mentioned that this game is 5 rounds. In the 5th and final round, you do not draw from the incident deck. However, you draw from the super incident deck, which these cards generally provide some fantastical event happening in the race, such as a rhinoceros on the racetrack. That's crazy. But there are going to be more cards to have to repair. 3 tires, a wing, and a gas can. So lots more math having to go on in the final round. Also, whoever gets the gold flag at the end of that round is going to get 3 bonus points. That's pretty much the gist of the game. If at any time a tile that you need is already taken by another player, you cannot find it, you can always substitute it for one of these parts pieces. But you want to try to do that as not very often, because each time you do this, it's negative points, and they're cumulative. So you keep doing this, you keep losing more points. So you want to try to avoid doing that. Whoever has the most points and has progressed furthest along this track is the winner, and that is how you play Pit Formula. Let's go back up top. All right, we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on this game and maybe what you could expect if you play it for yourself. Sam, what did you think about Pit Formula?
I had to be honest, when Lance told me that we were going to play a game that involved math, that is not my strong suit, and I was not excited about it. But when I learned that our kids could play with this, we're always looking for ways that we can play games with them. And
right.
If it's going to be educational, that's just a bonus. So it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. The math wasn't too hard, but the speed in which you play makes you make silly decisions or silly mistakes. And so you will see that we can't do math well.
If you've ever watched the game show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Yeah.
This is kind of like that experience a little bit, because these are simple math questions, math problems. But when you're under the gun and you're racing against another player, it's real time. You can make some silly mistakes, and that's a lot of fun in this game.
Yeah.
It's a little embarrassing, to be honest.
It was addition, like just basic addition. Mm-hmm. And Lance was like, that's not right. I was like, oh, I can't add. But I did really like this. It was very appropriate for our almost 9-year-old.
Yeah.
He was able to pretty much keep up with us. And we found a way to modify it very easily for our 6-year-old.
Yeah.
We just gave her the basic addition ones and the red ones, which are
finding the in-between numbers.
Yeah. So I think it's a really good game. I think any game that you play with kids that you can modify it, even if it doesn't necessarily say that in the rules. I think there are some
rules in this game that do modify it for children under 7.
Yeah, but we kind of did our own little thing too. I love that. I think it just makes it so much more adaptable and
inclusive and works well for your whole family.
Yeah, for sure. So I thought it was a great game.
I also enjoyed the having to find the right piece on the table. This uses some unique mechanics that you don't see in a whole lot of games. I mean, yes, the math, figuring out the math problems. Honestly, I don't know of another board game that actually incorporates that in a fun way.
Yeah, this was definitely a lot more fun than I thought it would be.
And then kind of the Where's Waldo, I Spy mechanic. I don't even know what you would really call that. but just finding the number and getting to it and putting it on your race car, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I'm not a teacher at all, but I have to think that aspect of it has to be really good for the kids, you know, recognizing what the numbers are, then finding the number, then putting it where it goes, and also not just that, but the colors as well. So if you're a teacher, I think this is a great game to have in your classroom.
I would agree with that too, yeah. Now, I know some out there will say that this is a test of skill more so than it is a board game, or that this is a test of intelligence more than it is a board game. And there might be some out there who might knock this for that. And I think I would respond to those out there who might hold that opinion, that this is still fun. This is still an enjoyable experience. And as is the case with a lot of board games, they're a measurement of some sort of mental ability or mental skill, being able to strategize or look, plan ahead so many turns. So that's not any different. This isn't any different than what most other board games are out there. This is just a different measurement of skill.
Yeah.
Ability to do simple math problems at a quick pace, under the gun, under pressure, being able to find the right piece, put it where it goes. I think this...
It's a really fun theme, too.
Yeah, it is.
Finding the parts of the car, getting the trophies, and the fact that if you got one wrong, the trophies all go. That was how our daughter...
did happen.
Yeah, and that's how our daughter was able to get... she wasn't the quickest at the math part, but she benefited from other people making mistakes because she didn't make mistakes. She, is just at that age where she's very meticulous. And so she benefited from other people not being so...
So even if you are somebody who doesn't move as quickly as others, maybe you are more meticulous, you can still do all right in this game. You can keep up with everybody else, even if you're not the fastest, because other people are going to make those mistakes. So that's the other thing about this game. This works well with a lot of people.
Yeah.
I highly recommend this. I think it's one that Sam mentioned works well for the whole family. I think you're going to find that it works well with your friends too. That is Pit Formula.
Yeah, so make sure to like and subscribe to our channel and push the bell button if you want to get notified of all our new content.
All right, I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.